Good morning, Lise. Better than Kurt.
Oh, he smells it? It's, who knows? It's just weird.
Something, it's either salmonella or.
Did he go to the doctor?
I don't know.
Because there was a stomach flu going around too, I heard.
Okay.
So, the way that it happened so fast though,
Exactly.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
Well, they said it could take up to 2 weeks if it was salmonella. I looked it up.
It's really now. I mean, he told me he's never felt so sick in his entire life. Really. So,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's not the best time either.
No, I know. I want to tell you, you did a fantastic job the other day. You just picked up on it like it was your presentation.
What actually
Hello.
was.
It was? Well, then there you go. That's why. I wonder, it just came so naturally.
No snacks, Christopher? Just I used to bring snacks lately. No cake, no croissants.
Well, you should have if you did.
I went to
Are you
the
like a
market
tea
yesterday. After all my appointments, I went to get a drink and we just, and the guy there I know, and I said, are you sick of seeing us coming in for platters?
Oh, really?
I'm just glad you're using our business.
Keep on coming, please.
That's right.
I saw everything, almost everything we got, I'm like, yeah, that's good.
So is he just essentially asking for, what is he asking?
Well, this is 807
Yeah.
Congress, which is next door to Mr. Holman's.
Right.
Proposed infill development,
Yeah.
and across the street from, you know,
Our
812.
favorite, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a non-contributing, they want to basically, Harold's are us, Jamie Raven, Acor, they
Yeah.
acquired this property.
Uh-huh.
Do substantial.
So this is the property?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if that's existing clabbered on there now or not, if that's something else.
And actually, she wanted to come last week, but she requested deferral, I don't know why. But
Oh, no wonder it looks familiar. Yeah, because I had sent in some comments about this one too. That's right, because I wasn't sure about what the existing siding was. That was the only, I think that was my big thing.
So, a new roof, windows, shutters, siding, and
Okay.
exterior color.
You okay? Are you just
Drink
got
wine, wine,
what?
water.
You drinking wine?
Careful what you,
Uh-oh, she didn't talk about not sharing and not
I'm
bringing.
trying to think about what I was doing after I leave here today.
Shameful.
Oh, goodness. I know.
got away with it until now.
I know,
Now,
right?
now you just let it slip.
Jeez.
That's the end of it. Of all the fun. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, silly girl.
I am.
Oh, my ears got water in it. Oh, that's a weird feeling.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, that was a quick recovery though.
Oh, yes. You know, well, so a week ago, Friday, so yeah, so the Friday before, well, it was actually Thursday, Linda in my office started getting an itchy throat, right? And she just said, I don't know, just something doesn't feel right. I'm gonna go home early. So she went home early. And then she called and said, you know, I started a fever last night. She said, I'm staying home.
Mhm.
And that was on Friday. And I said, you need to go and get a COVID test. Well, she didn't until Monday.
Oh.
And so she got one on Monday and let us know that it was COVID because she was convinced it wasn't, right?
Mhm.
Because the symptoms weren't exactly monthly, apparently they vary now. And so then Libby and I went and got, it, I had it, Libby didn't. And because I have asthma, they put me on
Oh.
mega doses of steroids. And as well as amoxicillin, you know, and that stuff. And because she wanted to knock it out completely so that I wouldn't end up, you know, with my lungs. Right, and so so I was actually, I think Sunday was the day that I started really feeling better about it, but I could tell I was on the withdrawals of steroids at the same time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's just, so I was shaky, you know, so I was that kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, that knocked it out before it got any further. So, and interestingly, I don't get fevers. I've had one fever in my whole life.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why.
my husband had COVID probably the week before you, and he was saying he ate a chip, so he choked, not choking, but it scratched him, and then the next day he's like, my sore throat still feels funny, and I'm just feeling blah. I'm like, please go get, you might have COVID, you know, if him to go to the doctor.
And
got
nobody
$1
thinks they
million.
do. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
so he finally went, and he just had the sore throat and just really like blah feeling. They
Yeah.
gave him 8 days of these pills that look like this, and then
Oh,
something else, almost like a vitamin E pill, and
oh,
knocked him out.
you know, they probably gave him Bactrim, I wonder if that's
Because he
the
can't
horse
swallow,
pills.
yeah, he can't
Yeah.
swallow little ones, so,
Yeah,
but knocked it right out.
well, you know, so I don't know. Good news is, it's gone,
Yeah.
at least, and Libby never got it, but you know, she's
Hello.
young.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, how are y'all?
Good.
So I guess you're Jamie, right?
I am.
Well, come to the table. Welcome.
Well, how did you're the only one today? Yes, yeah, we sit right up front. We get to focus all of our attention on y'all.
Well, we didn't really want
that.
Special treatment?
No, wait till after, right?
You Harold?
Travis. Oh.
Yeah.
This is
It's
Harold.
not ours.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's-
the company. Okay.
It's just-
He's Mr. RS.
I think I signed it.
Mr. RS.
All right, yeah, you're the only item, so for today's.
Well, now we feel bad, because you're, you just have to be here.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Well, that's. We're all.
We work here.
Always.
See, this means that we're the only ones that are in a good mood. We're not
Right.
annoyed with those people.
Hopefully. Hey, Nick, how are you?
It's Wednesday. That means there's a morning, but
Just pretend. Facade, that's all it is, you know?
My girls have their first day of school today, so we had all of that
Oh,
excitement.
so, I drove by the Port Royal School, because that's where Jim's, you know, guitar places are.
Right down there, yeah.
And I said to my daughter, I said, are kids still out of school? She goes, Mom, they go back. I went, "Oh." So I help them
Mhm.
traffic showed it this morning.
enjoy.
Traffic showed it this morning.
Yeah, I think.
Your age is okay, that's a
Well,
fun
public
age,
schools
just when
went
they
back
get to
last-
middle school,
Yeah,
high
I got
school,
one in there.
I stress, but they should be stressing.
We're second and third grade and they were,
Okay.
our 8-year-old was wide awake at 5 AM, like, is it time yet?
Oh,
Like, I guess it is, girlfriend, and we're,
Let's let this go all year.
why not, we're not going back to bed now, are we?
Let's go back tomorrow, yes.
Excited.
They're sweet.
Our girls love school.
That's good.
Okay.
Which is,
See all their friends.
No, that's good. How do they like it
So, yeah,
themselves?
that's true.
Yes, the social aspect, that was me too.
Yeah, mine just started kindergarten. Her
Oh,
first
wow.
year, so she was excited for the first week. First day she made one friend, second day was 7, next day was 8.
Each day she keeps.
And then the
giving
next
it
day
an
she hates
injury
them all.
for-
Well, one day comes around, she just got over being sick. She got sick the first, like,
Oh.
Friday.
From all of her 8 friends.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden today, now she doesn't want to go to school anymore, she's packed up her friends.
Ah, see, you knew that would
They
happen.
got me sick.
Yeah, I don't wanna hang out with those people
Exactly.
anymore.
That's very funny. Kids are such a hoot. So they are. Personalities are.
Right.
So we're just waiting on some other staff members.
Is Kim in town?
So,
No, Ken
Exactly.
is actually out today. Have you ever been to an HTRC?
We have, it's been a little bit, yeah, but we got a piece of property that we were planning to develop, and then we had a buyer offer the right price, so we did just get that route.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
We did go for it.
So we do feel like we're still learning though, so we are not experts by any stretch of the imagination.
We're all still learning.
I was gonna say that, too.
Because we haven't met before, I started December of last year.
Oh, okay, I thought you
That's
were here,
probably-
okay.
Okay, yeah.
Did- Were you not for?
No.
I thought-
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we.
It was Kurt.
Kurt, okay, yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I thought he mentioned already, okay.
Yeah, it was Kurt.
Hasn't it?
Okay.
Hey, Maria.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it
Hello.
going?
We're doing well. How about you?
Good. How's Kurt doing?
Not
so-
here.
not so well.
Oh,
You'll probably be out the rest of the week.
yeah, I believe it.
We had a, planning commission work session, training session on Monday. And-
Don't name the restaurant.
No, we had food or we got lunch before and probably didn't eat. We don't know. Who
Laura's
knows where,
supposed to find it.
he must have picked up something,
Yeah.
but it went so fast within like what, an
It was,
hour
yeah,
after. or
yeah,
less
an hour
than
and a half at
hour.
most, yeah.
Very good
Stormed out
presentation.
into that room and like,
It was just like,
there was a pitch next door, us two actually were the, luckily the only one.
Unlucky.
That we all
The ones that saw him like. Thinking and saying like there was no tomorrow. And he, that was it for him.
So he's, I'm sure.
That was
adopted
it.
account for
So
yeah.
Oh,
whatever,
possibly.
we don't know if it was food related or whatever, but it was, it's
No.
pretty bad, so.
So you guys were quick to boot him out the door. sounds
Yeah.
like.
Oh, we got it solved
Wanted to be
now.
great.
Yeah, please.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Hey, Bruce.
Good. So with that, I guess we're
Here.
complete. So welcome to the Historic District Technical Review Committee pre-design meeting. It's a long name. This is a staff level meeting, so we're not elected or appointed committee, board whatsoever. So anything that we discuss here today shall not be misconstrued as in like an approval or any of any sorts. So we're here to give you some more input on your project. That's the nature of this meeting. And the way it's set up, we do stream, we have a presentation prepared online on Zoom. We have staff members, including Bruce Skipper, who is the building official for the city. We contract with Metters Architecture out of Charleston, so we have Maria Short here with us from them today, and she's gonna give you some comments as well regarding, you know, architectural guidelines, historic preservation details. We have Julie Backety, our administrative assistant. We have Lee Sunderlow, who's the director of the Historic Beaufort Foundation. We have my fellow planner, Nick Navia, who will be taking notes and sending those to you after the meeting. So you'll be receiving an email with everything, so just to let you know. And myself, so I'm Christopher Clement, planner, so welcome, nice meeting you. So you're the only item on the agenda today, 807 Congress Street. Is within the Old Commons neighborhood, within the historic district, as you know, your zone T4HN, which stands for Historic Neighborhood District. It is a non-contributing structure, the house that we are looking at here behind you.
Is this it?
That's
Okay.
it, that's it. Across the street is a dilapidated duplex, which is regarded contributing. It's A12 or A10, A12 Congress Street. It's one of the last, and at least we'll be talking about that, one of the last remaining historic duplex structures
Yes.
that find across the street. To the west of you, so left to you is an empty lot that is actually, we just last week talked to Mr. Holman, who's gonna be building eventually a new house on that lot there at the corner.
Just one,
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
well, it's gonna be a,
It's a big house.
it's gonna
I was
be,
gonna say, it looked like it could almost be subdivided one time.
no,
Yeah.
no, but it's, I mean, they're building a separate, like a garage with an, like living space, like a loft above the garage as well, so. And it's gonna be a 2-story house, so yeah, it's gonna be a big house.
So that means that we don't have to worry about doing the fence on that side. They'll eventually do a privacy.
Well, we
Spend that
met,
kind of money on a fence, they'll want to.
the owners directly behind the vacant lot, I believe they're the ones that have been maintaining that corner for him.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna sit with him.
A little bit.
And which was kind of interesting because when you applied for the meeting, he was on the agenda as well. So I was like, well, this is this is gonna be an interesting meeting, having both of you on the same table, right? But
okay.
then you kind of asked for the
Yeah.
pearls, and I was like, okay. Anyway, so you're proposing putting on a new roof with timberline architectural shingles, color would be like charcoal color, right?
Yes, sir.
Then new lap siding, fiber cement lap siding. The color of the exterior is gonna be Dover white from Sherwin-Williams. Which now is that kind of like also cream color, beige color, I guess,
Just slightly off that thing, yeah.
You're gonna be putting new windows in there, I guess, right? And new shutters as well. And is there anything
You
else
gonna,
that I kind
you
of
gonna
missed?
keep that screen porch like it is? Looks like that's a screen porch. that's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a screen porch.
part of, we were hoping, yeah, so you tell us, obviously, we'd love to keep the porch, not necessarily keep it a screen porch.
Yeah, we don't care
but
either way.
Kind of open to whatever.
Old metal structure is, you can see a little bit in the corner right there, and then right between those two 2x above the handrail. Yeah, right in the corner, you can see it, it's just one of the old school metal ones, and then you can see the other support about 4 foot in from the door. So it's got the metal still there, they just framed around it for what they did.
Oh, so it was a metal screen porch.
Well, it was, yeah, it has. Yeah, exactly, yeah, it has the metal frame for it to be an open porch,
Oh, okay.
and they just framed around it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
To make it the screen, and then it's got the vinyl siding on the inside and outside of that wall, and then of course around the whole house.
I think we would prefer to do, just open up the porch, or more open front porch,
I don't blame
if
you.
Sure of the inventory.
we're allowed,
More welcoming
yes.
feel and look.
And we said no to shutters, right, that was
Yeah,
okay, no to shutters, we are,
so when we usually look at rehab work, takes us to like buildings within the historic district, either contributing, not contributing, obviously it's gonna be more strenuous looking at, at contributing.
Very correct stuff, yeah.
We do consult with the Beauty Preservation Manual because it does give us and you too a lot of like recommendations of what's appropriate and what is not. And I'm not sure, but I will just start with the windows, and I'm not really sure if it's reflecting it right or not, and you have to tell me about it, but the windows, as I see it in the spec that we provided, are vinyl in the windows, is that correct? Single on, okay.
yes, sir.
So, and we can go through this, I'll just start with pointing specifics out that I've kind of found going through the manual, and also then like the Secretary of the Interior standards where we have the rotation within the district. Windows made of vinyl, the primary attraction is the relatively low initial cost, that's what the manual says, however, they age poorly. And their appearance is incompatible with historic structures, so yes, this is not a historic structure per se. The only conceivable use for this type of window within the historic district is for installation in basement window openings that are concealed by porches, so looking not only at the preservation manual, not only like chapter 10 where it talks about doors, what kind of doors, windows, shutters would be appropriate for either, historic buildings or within this historic district, that's something that we're looking at as well. Not that it only has to fit within the structure if it's historic, but it has to, of course, be representative of the historic district, kind of also preserve the district in its appearance and its character. So we also go back to the Secretary of the Interior standards for rehab. And for instance, here, I would say that's my personal interpretation. Number 9 says like new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction will not destroy historic material. This may not apply. Features and spatial relationships that characterize the property. So that's more like it. It's the relationship to your neighborhood, to the district itself, okay? So the new work will be differentiated from the old and will be compatible with the historic materials, feature, size, scale, proportion, and massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. So that's something I mean, and we'll be going around the table. Everybody's gonna basically give some comments towards what you're proposing, but that's just something that I've kind of found. The selection and the design of the new shutters, that chapter talks about that as well, especially in what would be recommended and not recommended. Not recommended are non-operating shutters. Composite materials bearing a false wood grain texture are not acceptable. That's what the Beaufort Preservation Manual says. Similar to the windows, the vinyl shutters age poorly. So I'm not sure, the shutters, are they also of vinyl?
Yeah, those were,
Well, I don't,
They're-
yeah, we're gonna go through the whole thing.
That's
We're
fine.
gonna
That's
go
just
through the whole
something that
If
I'm
you're not
putting
necessary, we don't
Yeah.
have to do that.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
You're fine with.
We'll go through the whole
And then-
discussion.
Okay, and then the siding, looking at the siding and what would not be considered recommended as per the preservation manual. It's modern products such as cellular, PVC, fiber cement, wood fiber, composite siding is considered not appropriate for restoration and repair of historic wood siding and trim. As their performance characteristics differ significantly from those of wood, but, okay, this is not, again, a historic building, right, but.
Well, it's a historic building, it's just not
Well,
It's not
contributing.
And that's what, I'm not trying to cut you off, but what I just heard you say was repair existing wood siding.
Yeah.
This right now is vinyl.
Right.
So there is no
That's my
existing,
question.
yeah, there's no existing
Okay,
anything nice.
very good, okay.
And the windows themselves are metal. Not, the only thing that's wood is that front bay window right there, and it's falling apart.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to say.
No, that's, I'm just putting it up.
Well, no,
And it's
no,
a kind of like, I'm kind of setting the stage for a whole.
and that's what I mean, yeah, I wasn't trying to, I'm not trying to argue about the vinyl either, it was just. In my, and again, I'm not old enough to see the lifespan of some of these things, but in my experience, wood windows are definitely more maintenance than vinyl, and so if you don't maintain them, then they don't last as long.
Sure, it always comes down to maintenance too, yeah.
What the homeowner's willing to do, and so we don't end up with a house across the street.
And on the topic of that, these current shutters aren't operable, right?
No.
Yeah,
They're the same cheap ones, yeah,
Yeah.
those,
and even if they were, the size of them are completely wrong.
Well, yeah.
The size
Yeah,
of
they're
them.
not serving.
they're off the shelf,
Yeah.
$20 a piece, something kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I would like to start with you, Bruce, if you have anything.
Well, it looks like your window information you provided, it looks pretty good as far as the DP, solar heat gain, U factor. You'll have to obviously provide some kind of windborne debris protection and, just to make sure that, the windows in the bedrooms meet egress, or we can get as big a window fit that opening as we possibly can. That pretty much takes care of the windows. Obviously, the requirements for installing asphalt shingles, as far as the underlayment and all that. And then the fiber cement, well, that's pretty much cut and dry on that. So that's about all I got. I'm sure you're gonna do an interior renovation at the same time, so obviously that's gotta be meet the current code there.
Right now, we're still just working on demo, getting everything
Yeah.
exposed, see how deep it's gonna go.
And then, like I say, if you want to get a demo permit, which I recommend,
It's already done.
oh, you already?
Yeah.
Then-
Sorry.
Well, now, we can go there without a permit.
We knew this would take time,
Yeah.
so before we submit the building permit, we needed to figure out what we could and couldn't do.
Okay, I think we're already heading in the right direction on my part.
Just, Maria, could you go to, page or slide number, what is it there? 8. I guess you will be putting in some new ducting and stuff like that for the.
You're gonna do it in
systems,
the
or-
attic, or are you gonna do it in the floor system?
It's gonna be in the attic. There's a maybe 2-foot floor system.
Yeah, I figured that.
So all these windows are coming out basically, right?
Yeah, all the window ACs are gonna be gone. And then the next question also was that chimney right there,
I was gonna say,
can it go?
absolutely.
Okay.
Is it
I mean, that's.
Right, it had a heater in the kitchen.
So it was a vent.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an actual chimney. And so if that could go, then that would be great, because then we could make right here beside the house, there's about 11.5 feet to the property line, so we could make that drive. So they aren't parked on the side of the road. They could pull in out of the road, because I know that's a big thing in areas.
Actually, and kind of on that topic, Maria, can you go back to slide 7? I just wanted to ask, since it wasn't mentioned in the scope of the work here, that little pseudo sidewalk in front of the fence, are there any plans on what to do with that? Because that doesn't, because I was looking at the street view, that doesn't connect to anything.
No, it's just inside the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
It's their property, it's not even. like-
So is the plan just to leave that as it is, or?
I mean, that area, and then, I don't know, do you have a roadside one, a picture?
See, I don't know if I deleted that part.
That right there might show it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you see that, it's,
This is the current.
so where does your property line go to?
well, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
that's
the
stake.
But then, yeah, it's excuse my language, but shittily poured, little
Yeah.
asphalt, not grass maintainable area. So we were just gonna do some rock on that, but then, yeah, the little sidewalk, it goes nowhere. It's just going to each side of the house, and that's it. It kind of stops right at the edge of the house, so I have no problem with removing that, and then we'll just leave the small section, because we're also thinking about removing the fence on the front.
Okay, yeah,
And then just we'll leave the section going from the parking area to there. But get rid of the 2 wings off both sides.
okay.
They're not gonna.
Or I can add dirt and grass, make it street.
Yes, we're also looking at this page, just kind of thinking of things that kind of weren't mentioned. I'm assuming that little kind of gutter on the roof in the front of the,
Diverter.
yeah, what that is, that getting?
That'll go away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
that was probably last owner, so they didn't get rain over the roof, that's all.
Yeah,
Just keep it off them. Yeah, that'll go away whenever roofers come and do their thing, and
Are you putting new gutters on completely or just leave them?
I'll probably leave it. Just because if we do it, then it's a whole thing with.
Well, no, I
If
was
they
gonna
do
say
put a
it's not,
diverter in, it's more of a
Stripping
low
middle.
profile,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's only in that section,
Yeah,
as you can see.
right. All right, anything else? All right, well, switch. Maria, do you have any comments?
Yeah, just a few. I think kind of just going down the list of the in your project narrative, what you were planning to do. The asphalt shingle roof, I think you were wanting to replace with kind of something similar in this charcoal color. I think that's fine. We just call that an in-kind replacement. So since you already have asphalt shingle, replacing it back with asphalt shingle does not even require at least I don't think it does require a COA. You can just get a permit for that and do that.
We have been issuing COAs, but in kind is.
Yeah.
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 whatever, But yeah,
So I mean, if you want to do that, today, that's a pretty easy thing to do because it's already existing as asphalt shingle roof. So I think that that's fine. Painting the building the Dover white color is also appropriate for right now. I mean, it's got a couple different colors in this palette. Are you guys planning on making everything the Dover white, like the
window trim, soffit, and fascia will probably all be white, just white by itself.
You're white.
And then Dover will be the siding.
Okay. Okay. I think that makes sense. I think maybe just put that in like an email response or something so that we know for the record, but I mean that sounds appropriate. I'm just kind of going this list. Oh, the hardy siding, I think we kind of already talked about, Christopher was talking about, but it's a non-contributing structure and you have vinyl siding, not wood siding. So going back with the hardy is totally appropriate. The only thing that I will say is that Yeah, we don't do the faux wood grain siding, per our code. That's not allowed. So you would just want to make sure and confirm with us that you are doing the smooth. Yeah. Yep. But that's pretty much it. So, yeah, hardy in general is appropriate on these kinds of structures that don't have wood siding. So, yeah, I
Maria,
think,
do you have any comments on the shutters for the front?
yeah, yeah, I'm kind of going, I'll get to the windows and then I'll talk about the shutters, but I think for the vinyl windows, yeah, they're not appropriate and they're really never allowed in the historic district, even if it is contributing or non-contributing, it doesn't really matter. Um, so I think a good alternative, I mean, you already have these kind of aluminum windows. If you wanted to find something similar, that could also be kind of a in-kind, replacement, like how I was talking about for the roof. So that's always an option. Um, we are supportive of something like a fiberglass window, but generally not something that's just vinyl. That's just really not allowed in the historic district, no matter what the building is. So that would be our one caveat for that is to select a different window. Um, and then kind of just a question about um, it's a little, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of things in this building. Here there's this kind of picture framed window with these mitered uh corners for the casing, and then over here you've got a more traditional um trim with a projecting sill. Do you plan on keeping those casings and sills, or are you kind of planning on kind of switching out the entire piece?
I
Do you know?
figure being the T4, that it would have to stay with the sills and everything. So we would have them all have sills, they'd all match style wise, and then the bay window on the front would get changed out to probably a double window, just like on the front porch.
Okay.
That way
Uh,
it's styled more like old school rather than newish, especially because that's a bedroom anyways. You don't need a bay window in your bedroom.
yeah, I'll finish my comments. I'll get to I might ask Lisa about her thoughts on the window. I I think generally I'm in support of replacing it with two windows to kind of make the language similar. It's just that this is, what's existing there is this large picture window, but that's not really a common feature in the historic district, and I don't think that maybe that was original. So I'll think about that, um but yeah, I think you're on the right track with keeping the projecting sills. That's correct for the historic district. So I think that's it really for the windows. And the shutters, were you thinking about just not doing the shutters at all? Or is that kind of yeah,
Correct, yes.
yeah. I think that makes sense. I think like we were talking about earlier, they're not operable and they're also not on the building really at all, except for what looks like this front window here. So I think you're better off just not doing it, because what our um I think what our code would require is for you to have operable shutters with operable hardware, and you would have to get some kind of bifold shutter here so that it could actually fit, the width of this window. And I think that's just maybe doing more work than is necessary when these are the only two quote unquote shutters um on the building. So I think you might honestly just be better off getting rid of these two and then not trying to put them on. If you did want to put them on the whole building or even just the front, that's fine. It just, again, would need to be not a vinyl shutter, and then they would need to be operable. So you'd need to, um, even if you are never planning on closing them, we just, they still need to be treated as if they could be closed. So maybe something to think about, but you might just be on the right track with getting rid of them. I think makes more sense. And I think that's really it. And then any other changes, like you were talking about getting rid of this gutter. If you plan on doing like a full gutter downspout system, because it doesn't look like there is one around the building. So if you're planning on doing something, back here, um, just let us know. Generally, uh, the Beaufort Preservation Manual is not in support of the K style, like the architectural style gutters. So you could just do a simple aluminum half round or something like that if that was something that you were interested in doing for the building, since you're getting rid of this up front. I think it might just be best to do an aluminum half round gutter if that's even something you're thinking about doing. Um, but I think that's just about it. So I think it might be getting a new cut sheet for the windows. Um, and then that's really kind of it. Unless you have any questions for me, but I'll probably defer to Lise to just talk about that
Wait,
window.
about the windows, I'm not saying that relativity matters, but if you go to the slide right before this one, yeah, 7. You can see right there in the background, the house next door. She has vinyl. And then you can see, yeah, the diagonal, and again, I'm not saying relative, but the ones, the back left one is on the side street, of course, but he has the style that we were thinking would be more historic appropriate with just the single,
The vinyl, but with the grids.
yeah, with the single grid down the middle, compared to the neighbor right next to us who has nothing and they're tiny, little cheap looking vinyl ones. Those I figured were better.
Yeah, there's definitely some cases I think of. I will say that the city would not knowingly approve a vinyl window. There's people, unfortunately, that will do these projects on their own, or something gets changed in the process and we don't know about it. Which I think unfortunately happens more than we'd want to. But yeah, I mean, we just vinyl windows is just, it's not something that even on new construction, we, the nicest, we just can't approve it. So, generally people will try to go, it's a nicer window. We usually say like the Marvin Elevate, something like that, but there's also other options. Um, Anderson has a kind of fiberglass version. So does, I think, Colby. So you got some options. It doesn't have to be the fanciest, fiberglass window or wood window. Definitely does not have to be a wood window for this house. So I think it might just be worth looking around, but yeah, unfortunately, it happens more than we'd probably want it to. And people, get away with doing stuff that's not per the code or even approved by the HRB. I mean, we see it all the time, and people will, get an HRB approval and then you go look at it when it's all done and you're like, oh, it did 6 things that we didn't approve of, and it sucks. So
Right.
we can, yeah, we
We're
can,
we're on the radar. We're trying to do the right thing. here.
yeah, if we can, it's frustrating, but yeah, I think too for the windows, just one more thing, if you do plan on going, because right now you've got these, I can't remember exactly. This house was built in the 30s, so these windows aren't original, and definitely not it wouldn't have been in that horizontal 2/2 pattern. So if you wanted to bring back a window that was, say, 2/2 with like how you were talking about the vertical bar in the middle, I think that would be appropriate. Um, the only thing with that would just be to make sure that the windows have the exterior applied little Muntin bar instead of probably what this house might where is it? What this house might have. It's kind of hard to tell, but just make sure you don't have only the interior spacer bar. Even if it's not a true divided light window, we are fine with simulated divided light windows. They just need to have that little bar that's applied on the exterior of the glass, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of the only caveat there. So and if you guys need help, like we don't have we don't have specific, like a specific list of approved. Actually, the preservation manual might have a list of approved products. I'm not sure. There's not any that like we as staff architects like, immediately put a stamp on. But if you do need recommendations, we can, we can work with you guys on that too. About
Great.
what a good window would be. So
Yeah,
I think
any
that's it.
as far as like, recent approvals for
Just look at
renovation
it.
projects, yeah, with windows, just so we can see.
Yeah.
We normally go through
What
Lansing.
are y'all gonna do with the metal columns? Are y'all gonna try to keep those, or are you gonna try to, work with, change that over to a wood or something? Or fiberglass?
Would prefer a wood.
Well, yeah, if we're going the route of, once we expose the bottom half of them
Mhm.
and they're rusted really bad, then probably gonna be changing them to 6x6 blocks or 4x4 blocks. Cause there's only the two, I mean, you got the one there and then the one further in. And then I figured,
Well, I figured you was probably gonna take them out, I would think, but,
I mean, I've done some black semi-gloss paint on it before and it looks good enough, but no, yeah, no, it'll get either screen porch goes back but nicer, or they'll get, taken down because they're just gonna be rusty, because they always are,
yeah.
and then change them out to nice blocks with some presents,
Well,
and
that's,
those will be white.
that's on me. That was an initial point that I had brought up, but you had mentioned that in your,
Yeah.
so what, we're open to feedback on the porch too. Would it be okay for us to open it up and just have a regular open porch? Would you prefer the screen porch to go back in?
If we're ready to go to me, I'll just kind of walk through my
Sorry,
stuff.
Maria, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Jump into everybody else's comments for it. So kind of starting from the beginning, my first question had been, of course, what was the siding? So you answered that, and I think that it's absolutely fine to go with the smooth hardy on it. The 1997 survey shows it looking exactly identical, so it must have just happened. It looks pretty pristine right there. Take a look at that. I have a later survey, and I'm sorry I didn't think to look at it. I have one back to 1969 actually in my office.
Oh my God.
And so it'd be interesting if I can find what the porch originally looked like. And if I can, I'll send it to Christopher, and then we can get that to you. Because I think that I would love to see that the porch come back to an open porch. I think that, that was what the original intent would have been with it. It doesn't matter to me at this point as to whether it's the metal columns or what you use from the standpoint, because it's been altered so much. But I think, as you said, very inviting, when you do that, but also it really fits more of the historic narrative of the building. With regard to the windows, the first thing that I noticed last week when I first looked at this is that the windows don't really fit the openings. When they put that vinyl on them, it's kind of mishmash. You've got some windows that are sunken in, some windows that are out a little bit more. So when you're putting the hardy on, you want to make sure that there's a profile, so that you see the lap, that's going. And I don't know if you can zoom in at all on either of those, Maria. On one side it works, on one side it didn't. It was kind of funky how it was. But the idea is that the lap, is going to stick out a little bit over your frame that you've got.
One by, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's critical, and I agree with what Maria said about it. That would not have been a 1930s window there. That's more of a 1960s, form of a window. And if you wanted to do just 2/2, I think that would be, absolutely fine with the true muntin on the exterior so that you see the shadow. That's the kind of the critical piece with that. And then the front window, I agree that front window is not original. I'd be really surprised if I go and find that picture from '69 and it's there. But I would not have heartburn with you doing a gang window like you've got on the porch there. And are you cool with that, Maria? Yeah, and doing that, but at the same time, be very conscious again of the siding profile around it. And definitely, the shutters would not have been a part of that. It seems like a really sturdy building, is it? It seems that way.
So far, what we've exposed is a lot of homeowner specials. Weekend warriors going on in there. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And I think there was, oh, y'all didn't have any photographs of the back of the building. What's happening on the back of the
That
building?
was just, I don't know. why I didn't
Um,
say it.
Is it
That's
possible
not
the
me.
street view, Maria?
Probably not. So the
Yeah.
roof pitch changes here and then on the back of the building, the other side, I don't know if you got a left side of it, but it stays the same with the roof. But then it kind of tapers off shorter compared to this one, and then it's got a shed roof partially on
Okay.
that. So it's pretty much two additions.
So it's like,
Yeah, so
Like that.
this is the roof going on and then it's here and then here.
huh,
Really tell me better on the website.
interesting. And the windows are essentially the same
Um,
kind of situation.
metal right now, but I think there's only one or two. There's one on the back. And then there's a side door. And then there might be one beside the side door, but I don't think there is.
Yeah, and then we had I'm not sure which slide it is that shows the other side of the house, Maria. If you would flip and find that one, the one that shows the vacant lot next to it. Too, yeah, there you go. If you could kind of pull that over so we can see those windows. It's underneath your face.
Oh, I can.
There we go.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the street view. Give me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What,
Yeah, you should be able to see.
you're about to bring up the stepping windows? You don't like that?
What, no, I just wanted us to have a closer look
Oh,
at it.
here we go, sorry, I just didn't submit it, that's.
Oh, that's the rear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, you can see the shorter slope and the shed roof addition on it.
Oh, that's kind of
Mm,
funky.
Homeowner special.
Yeah,
The original addition, cinder block walls,
it's weird. It's like they started there and then, yeah, and then did a shed off of the side of it when they put the siding on. Huh. That
Where's
is.
this house?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you go down, if you go
Yeah, if you
down
go down
West
a little
Street
bit
a little
more.
further, then that's.
Oh, it's here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you were going the right way, just go down a bit
There we
further.
go.
So that's really.
Yeah, you can kind of, yeah, that's how that done.
Right. Top of the eave, the vent
Mhm.
is like right smack up there.
Maria, if you also go down West Street a little bit more, you can kind of get a good side view.
This way.
To the-
West,
to the
West
left.
Street on the side street there.
Yeah, go around the corner.
same thing.
So the one thing that I am seeing on the
Yeah,
rear
right
of
there.
this, and we probably want to go ahead and send this to Maria too. It looks like there may be foundation issues on the rear. I don't know
Here we go.
Yeah, there's
That's
a-
the picture.
what's going
Oh, yeah,
on.
just-
Well, and that's part of what we're exposing. That room's been catching everything and then it's going out. We got a dump trailer over here, this all got dumped, now we're gonna bring more stuff out.
So that becomes the question then, if you're gonna be doing any other kind of structural or foundation work, we need to, I guess, know more about that as well too. And that may be another meeting, I don't know, that you wanna bring that back once you've done your exploratory.
Yeah.
And you can really sort of figure, okay, so here's.
Reckon why they didn't carry that gable all the way back,
It's
for them to change it to a shed.
really odd,
It was weird.
yeah.
When
What
was,
bathroom?
Well, the only thing, typically, you would have had one added, if this was the thirties, you would probably have had an addition added in the fifties or sixties on the rear. And it could very well be when the vinyl was put on, that the other shed roof addition was added to the original. That, makes sense, people expanding or they're improving the building, they may be expanding it, so.
It's a weird condition.
It's extremely odd.
They may have built it themselves.
Well, that, and it could very well be, and certainly, we don't know what's underneath that vinyl. Right now either, and y'all may find some other surprises that.
3 different sightings.
Okay.
Probably, we haven't exposed any of that yet.
But you're
On the
keeping,
inside.
are you planning on keeping those additions on the back like that? I mean, I don't know what's in there now. What was it used for?
Well, right now, the farthest back addition is just one big room that had a bathroom in it. And then it's like a 3.5 foot hallway that had laundry at the end.
Oh, like a laundry room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cinder block room,
Yeah.
and then the little shed roof is like a little tiny porch that they closed in. And made it into laundry,
Yeah.
but it's like a hallway.
By the 1930s, they could have had, an indoor kitchen, plumbing, depending on who it was. If it had been 1910, you'd question it more, but, it could have just been an expansion.
So
And
you're keeping that for now, or what are the
Yes.
plans?
Yes, yeah, kind of
So-
though.
That's mean, yeah, we're still exposing everything on the inside, and once we get all that completely open, then I can finalize the plans for all that inside stuff.
Okay, well, and I think some of those may affect your exterior, so that's why I wanted to
Well-
make sure we looked at it.
Yeah, one thing, like right now, that tall window, or the high window, I guess you call it, that is in where an old bathroom is, so that's probably gonna go away. Cause it's gonna be in the same bedroom as right next to it, and then it's gonna be funky doing this number. And then further over, there's another tall one that's in a bathroom that was in a tub. Yeah, I hate those.
I've had those before too.
Some of the people at the business want me to go back and do a smaller one. Of
Mhm.
course, it depends on what y'all approve. If y'all do approve like a 18 by 36 or
So
something.
which one are you talking about?
It's behind the building in this picture. On the right. Yeah, this one is the old bathroom. It's gonna go away. This is in the bedroom. And there's one right about here before the big one.
Are you
You
talking
go-
about the other, like,
If you go from the other street view, you could probably see it looking down the side of it.
is it that one? Or are you talking about on the other side?
If you go down
Yeah,
Congress, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Or you could, let me share.
There you go, right
I've
there.
got it up.
yeah, so.
The little.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, is it that guy back there?
It's the other side.
No, it's,
Yeah,
It's the other side of the building.
Oh God, what is going on? Hold on.
Or just let me share. I've got it actually.
Okay, that's fine. I think I will say any windows or doors or whatever that you guys want to cover up and not put back, just
Yeah.
maybe,
That's one at the time.
oh yeah, that one. Just make sure that you maybe highlight in a picture or something with a note that you plan on getting rid of it. Because I think it makes sense to your point. It's kind of messing up the language and the rhythm when you have all these different, different heights and sill heights of these windows. So I think if you want to get rid of a couple of these that are sort of out of this pattern, that's fine. Just I think maybe note it on the photos that you have, just so we're not, shocked when we like walk by and it's missing a window. But
Yeah, because those two that are up higher are probably gonna go away, and then on the other side of the building, there's two in the kitchen right now. But one is one more time.
It's further down.
Yeah, just one more time.
Yeah, there's one on the other side of the chimney too.
Yeah, the one on the other side of the chimney is the
Yeah.
one that's gonna go away.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because that's in the kitchen area. Then you got the first two are living room, and then you got dining room, which of course that one changes because of the roof pitch. But yeah, that third one right past the chimney, that one's the one that we're talking about taking away, because it's, you got one here and you got one on the back of the house
Mhm.
in the same kitchen within 4 foot, so you don't need two of those.
Just make sure that the windows all align, I guess that's what we're.
Well,
Yeah, high-rise.
Can I do that with those right there? Because the roof pitch changes to where if I try to align that one in the dining room.
No,
with the double,
the original front of the house is where that double set of
And
windows
it's a taller
is.
wall.
Yeah, so it's a different situation, so you don't need to align those two. But the ones on the other side,
Any
Yeah.
window
Yeah.
changes on the back of the chimney.
yeah. So keep it same with the form that it's attached to. That would be the way to do it.
Are these bedrooms? Or
Yes.
this-
Yeah, front
That one.
bedroom, middle bedroom, and then
And you
master.
may uncover that you had additional window openings or other openings underneath that vinyl, as y'all go.
We have
through.
not exposed extra walls yet, you're probably right.
Yeah, you may find something and you may decide to come back. If you find
How many
somebody.
bedrooms are in there too?
No, three. It was a 3, 1, and 2 halves, so it'll just be a full 3-2 when we're done.
That's pretty impressive that that vinyl lasted as long as it has. And seriously, we've seen some really bad
Yeah.
vinyl in the district.
It's got a couple nicks, but no, it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. And so hopefully it's also been able to keep moisture. Yeah, which is always the critical concern. I will definitely look when I get back to the office today and see if I can find the 1969 survey to include that building. And we'll see what the porch looked like at that time. And I'll give that to Christopher if I find it.
So basically, I guess to wrap this up is, you need to probably take another look at what was discussed today, especially when, putting in new windows or closing ones and doing new window openings, aligning the windows better. And I'm trying to figure out, as we mentioned with those additions in the back, what you're gonna do, if there's gonna be foundational problems that you're needing to fix as well. So all the details, the windows, whatever you're wanting to do with the front porch, right? And I would probably suggest to you coming back to this kind of setup again before we go to the formal of the board, the HRB.
Oh, even though it's not contributing with
Well,
the other?
I don't,
I thought this was.
I am not so sure, but it's, what is your take
I
on
mean, there's
this?
a lot of changes happening to it. Why don't we make that decision after they come back the next time?
At the next.
And because y'all would have had time to do some more exploratory, look and see what you've got.
It really comes down to the extent of the rehabilitations that you're still wanting to pursue, I would say, right?
I mean, the only thing,
Because now the way you've applied for this is like, okay, yeah, there's a set of in-kind repairs, like the roof, we can do, that's like considered in-kind. If, certain aspects are all in-kind, but then if the whole entire concept of the house is still gonna be further changed, rather, other than putting in new windows and putting on a new roof, so we're looking at a new front porch setup eventually. Whatever you're gonna do with, once you have a better idea of the foundation, stuff like that, it becomes more of just maybe an in-kind repair job. That's probably how I see it, right?
Yeah, and
So
we
it
just,
really, yeah, it's basically the dimensions and the extent of the work that kind of makes us go from either staff review in-kind repairs to maybe more than just that, right? But yeah, well, I think that's a good approach. I think we'll, once you have a better idea and what we've talked about, just, come back to me. I'll just put you on another HTRC meeting. We always meet Wednesdays, so we're flexible, right? Nick will be sending you what we talked about today. I'll be sending also Lisa's picture, or if I should find, or if she
Yes.
finds that to you, so you have a better understanding of what maybe was, or how the house looked like before they did that, right? And we'll just, take it from there. That's my suggestion. If you're fine with that.
yeah, biggest thing is finding windows that fit what y'all are talking about.
yeah,
And then, I guess, taking pictures like this and showing which windows I'm talking about taking out. For the most part, window locations aren't gonna change. Interior walls are about where they're gonna be, so.
yeah. One thing that I did note on the other side, and I don't know, just real quick, Maria, if you could zoom in on that first.
On this side
window.
here?
Yeah, on that one, just zoom in, whoever's zooming, yeah, zoom into that window. It seems like the windows that were put in not only didn't necessarily meet the form, they may have been smaller than,
Okay, there's
What?
actually,
right,
Yeah.
that had been there before. And so that's why I'm saying I think the frame's gonna change. of those windows and the size when you open it up.
Wait, cause normally, I mean, whenever we do windows, we go through Lansing out of Savannah and we give them a size and they build it to fit.
Okay,
So we can go to the original dimensions for the outside trim
okay,
and then that'll be exactly, we'll slide it in.
yeah.
And then,
Yeah. Well, and like I said, when you're doing the exploratory, you may find that the frame is even more different once you start, start doing it, so. Just interesting, I'm curious now, I'm really curious.
Are you keeping those over up there, that size? They are pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, they're big on all, three sides though.
And then the ones up in the peak.
Yeah, and that one stuck at the very top, that was interesting, and I guess they added them then, at the same time that they did all of this. Because the roof line obviously changed, right, Maria? You can definitely see that the roof line had changed in a couple of places, so.
I think if I can too, just to your point about noting where the windows and stuff are, if you just do that on your photos for kind of like everything you want to do and just make notes being like, hey, this is where we plan on that we're going to remove this chimney, we're going to do this to the porch. Just make notes of it, because then I think that way we're not holding y'all up because we're confused about stuff, and then that way you don't have to come to a third HTRC meeting or whatever. But I think if you do have to go to an HRB meeting, I think it would just be because of the amount of changes that you have. But it sounds generally like I think we're on board with everything. So if you did have to go to an HRB meeting, I think would be pretty easy. Unless you decide for whatever reason you still want to go the route of vinyl windows or something, But does that kind of make sense? I think it should be hopefully pretty straightforward for you guys. But I think just for the next HTRC meeting, if you can just notate on these pictures as much as possible, I think that'll go a long way. So, and I'll send my notes to Nicholas too, so he'll have he can send that to you guys too. But I just wanted just wanted to put that out there. So
One really minor, small thing I was thinking of as we're kind of going back and forth in these pictures, actually.
Yeah.
The porch, kind of, there's the railing here, the wood, on the steps. Probably want that painted as well, right? Not to leave that unpainted.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We'll probably redo it. This is under 3 foot, so do we have to do a handrail? I'm assuming not, and I wasn't sure being the historic style.
I can't tell if that's 3 rises or 4 rises, but the handrail, probably I would recommend that no matter what.
Okay.
But the guardrail, I don't.
Well, sorry, I meant the guardrail.
7, 14, 21. I would say you're under the 30, so I would say you could get by with probably not the,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
two fulls, 2 halves. There's a little step up underneath the door
yeah.
Oh, there's a nice little brick
on both sides.
pedestal, I didn't see that before,
Yeah,
on
so-
both sides.
So the handrail, yes, I would recommend. Guardrail, no.
Okay, well, yeah, because it was gonna be, we'll probably change it out anyways, because it's a little short. And then it was, if we're doing the guardrail, then we'll tie it all in together. If we're not doing the guardrail, then yeah, we'll just change it out. But yeah, no, of course, we'll paint that white, just like we do with the soffit fixture and
That
everything.
front door looks awfully small.
Well, it is for the
width of
opening,
it, It's
when-
the opening. It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
small.
it's.
and they probably had one that they salvaged, a door, and, made it work. Cause they
It keeps the
made
bugs
that
out
open.
for right now.
Thanks for bringing that up, cause that is actually a really cool little stair. Yeah.
It slopes backwards a little bit, but it's nice.
Character.
It just holds water.
It might not be safe, but it's nice.
Yes.
You can have it, okay, what do you think?
Just paint it, it'll look really good in pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get more detailed with our submission for next time too, just to kind of make sure there's a little less gray area and we'll,
Oh, wow, that's a great picture of the building that was torn down.
when was that
Next to
torn
it.
down?
Not that long ago,
Really?
unfortunately, yeah. They had gotten approval years ago, I think, for it was one of those, because there wasn't a sunset on demolition. But, yeah. So that could have been a neat little building.
Yeah, it could have been easy to breathe life into.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
All right, well,
Thank y'all.
well, as I said, or as we said, you know, people will be
Yep.
receiving the email, everything that was discussed, and we'll just take it from there. Let me know, we want to meet next.
We can't homework back to you. Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for doing this, actually. What is the plan afterwards? Are y'all then gonna sell it or what's the?
Depends on who you ask.
Ah.
If we can do an ADU, then I'm fine with keeping it.
We call it.
Wants to sell no matter
Team
what.
provided.
There's big debates about ADUs right now.
See?
Fun stuff.
That doesn't mean no.
It's not that you can't build an ADU, it's just, you know, a lot of times they're used as short-term rentals, and then there's some, you know, some new provisions that we want to maybe, or that council's looking at limiting. You know, how many
Short-term rentals.
ADUs or how many,
Can you just give us a heads up first?
Yeah.
And it's easier to cover the mortgage.
Long-term.
It's easier to cover the mortgage when it's short term sometimes.
I feel like it's already, you're talking about like regulating the short-term rental licensing even more so.
well, now it's regulated per neighborhood and per property. The idea is to maybe regulate it per rooftop within a neighborhood. And then maybe, you know, going down that way to kind of creating a more a fair, you know, the
Level.
playing field level.
Like if somebody has 3 rooftops on their property.
It's
Right.
and then the other idea is to maybe, currently in a lot of districts, you can do 2 ADUs if you have the room.
Mhm.
Maybe to limit it only to 1 per property maybe, so, but I mean. It's not like you couldn't do an ADU,
Yeah.
I mean, at least, yeah, you have the ability to do sure, 1 if you're in that,
It's
so the
just the
setbacks and
discussion of
everything like
use.
that, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not like you wouldn't be able to do it.
Mhm.
You would have to tie it into the architecture, it has to kind of meet and blend in with your main structure, architecturally wise and everything like that. But, I mean, it can be done if you wanted to,
Yeah,
it's not
but
like you couldn't.
the goal of city council though is long-term housing. So,
Yeah.
because we just have so little of workforce housing available in the community.
Well,
So that's really the.
If y'all get some land available, I have no problem building duplexes. I'll do it all day.
We have, yeah.
That's
I
all I
think
want.
short-term rentals aren't, I mean,
Yes,
just
you do.
our experience with our rental properties that we have, I feel like the short-term rentals aren't nearly as. Great as they used to be, like I do feel like because the short-term rental market
It's
is
safer.
kind of saturated now.
Yeah.
Between city, county, town of Fort Royal, so
Oh.
we feel like our
The
midterms,
county's insane.
yeah, our midterms and our long terms seem to do the best right now, short-term rental is not.
Hell, half the
not
time our
strong.
short terms become midterms.
Yeah, for sure. We're not saying
If
that.
we don't do it every other weekend, it becomes, okay, we wanna stay for a month or 2.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Yeah. All right, good meeting, guys.
Did you get home well to back into Charleston on Monday? Yeah.
No upset stomach or anything? You were fine?
No, I was like, I can't even talk about it on the way home because it makes me want to puke. But I was like, I just hope he feels better. I don't know.
Out of everybody that ate, you know, at the same time, it was only.
Nobody else had that dish though, right?
Just Kurt.
Nobody else had salmon, I think, and nobody
And
else had
poached
eggs.
egg.
Ben
Or
did,
eggs
right?
with
Yeah.
I had eggs over easy on mine, but they were
I
runny, but
I don't
was-
know. Oh,
I-
Lise, did you want to talk about 1001 Green, or did I miss something that it?
Oh, I went ahead and took it off. As a matter of fact, don't put it on next week right now either. I'm trying to, Rob's got some more things he wants to do, you know, with his planning and architecture before I bring it.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I had it open and ready to go, but I can.
Well, yeah, I was all gangbusters and, you know, wanting to do it too, because we're applying for an archives and history grant, the $200,000 grant, and they want bid ready documents, and it's due
Oh.
September 24th. And, you know, that became kind of the bugaboo, and then why I was pushing Rob to, you know, get the stuff so we could get it here. And then, you know, it was Christopher came up with a good solution that we might be able to make work if I need a letter from the city supporting it when it goes in, you know, that kind of. show the city's on board with what, because it's really not anything. I think the only thing we're gonna really discuss is the roof. And that's probably gonna be it, because everything else is in kind.
I mean,
Right.
it's not on the agenda for today's HRB meeting, but you could just make a comment about it so that they know, and so maybe they have an idea of like, well, in order to expedite it, in order for you to get what you need for the grant, that maybe we can like disseminate it amongst board members. And something like that, so maybe they're okay also with having just staff, kind of. Or with us just sharing that information and not necessarily having to.
I
Bring
feel
it to a
comfortable with
board
that,
meeting
and
for
also,
them in order to make like a formal recommendation or whatever for you, so. Just maybe you can just mention it
yeah, let me
today and
see
kind of,
how.
just bring it to their attention somehow and say that you're applying for a grant, but the deadline is coming up, it's the end of September,
Right.
that you kind of. Yeah,
Yeah. And that we're still pulling together some things. Alright, yeah, because we're having a structural report being done and, a couple of other kind of things right now with it. Alright, good,
all right,
thank you,
well,
I'll see y'all.
see you later, I guess,
Yeah.
all right, then,
Bye, Maria, thank
Or-
you.
Bye, guys.
bye-bye, thank you.
Bye, Maria. Bye. Bye.